Hello everyone and welcome to another video by SimpliCode. In this video, we'll make a project in C++. This project will be a login and registration form in C++ in which a user can register, log in, and also if he or she forgets the password, then also the password can be recovered. We'll make this project using the fundamentals of C++ like switch case statements and file handling operations. But before we begin, let me tell you guys that we have regular updates on multiple programming videos. So if you're a programmer and if you want to learn something new, then consider getting subscribed to our YouTube channel and press that bell icon to never miss any updates from SimpliCode. So without any further delay, let's hand over this session to our training expert.
So let's go ahead and understand this C++ project of login and registration system. In this project, first of all, we will make a menu page in which there are options like login, registration, forgot password, and exit. Then we'll ask the user to select any one among those options. Once the user has selected a particular option, then we have to continue with the functionality of that. So now let's switch to our code editor and do its practical implementation. So this is our dev C++ code editor, and now let's create a new file. Now first of all, we will include the header files. The hash include iostream, then there is fstream class for file handling operation, hash include fstream, then there is string.h for string, then we will include the namespace standard, now we will do the forward declaration for three functions, that is login function, registration function, and forgot function. And after that, inside the main function, we will make the menu for the login page. So let's start. First of all, we are doing the forward declaration. This is the login function. This is the registration function. And this is the forgot function. Now inside the int main, first of all, we'll make a variable C which stands for choice, C for choice. So now we will make the menu page. So let's create, we'll use /t for adding the horizontal space. Now in the end we will use /n. Alright, similarly we'll do here. Welcome to the login page. Now again we'll do the same, /t /t, and now underscores, menu, /n. Alright, now we will make the options. So we'll do the /t. Now after /t we'll add vertical bar. Then we'll write press 1 to log in. Let's make it capital. Press 1 to log in, and after making some space, then vertical bracket again, then L. Similarly, we'll copy it and do for option 2. Press 2 to register. Alright, let's maintain the symmetry. Press 3 if you forgot your password. Alright, press 4 to exit. Alright, so this is done. Now after that we will ask the user to enter your choice, and for that we'll display a message saying that please enter your choice. But before that we'll use /n and some /t's. Alright, now we'll ask the user, please enter your choice. Alright, now we'll take the input of the choice, that is C, that we have already declared. Next line. Now we'll use switch case statements. For example, if the user selects 2 to register first of all, then inside the switch case statement, in case 2, we will call the registration function. And if the user enters 1, then we will call the login function. So let's do that. Let's create a switch statement and see, that is choice. Now inside the switch statement, first of all we'll create a case 1. Inside this case there would be login. We are calling this login function, and then there is break statement. Alright, similarly now we will create case 2. So case 2 would be registration. Here we are calling the registration function, and then there is break statement. In case 3 there is forgot function. That is, if the user forgets the password, then this function will be implemented. Now there is a default case. No, now there is a case 4. In case 4 there would be a message saying that thank you, because case 4 would be exit. So we'll display a message saying that Now we'll also have to make the default case. That is, if the user selects 5, 6 or any other number that is not in the menu, then we will display a message saying that please select from the options given above. So before that we'll add the /t. Please select from the options given above. After that we'll use /n and endl. After that we'll call the main function so that the control goes back to the main function, and we'll also use system CLS, that is clear screen. It means every time the code is processed, it will clear up the screen. Now all we need to do is to create the login function. So we'll write void login, and inside this function first of all we'll create some variables, and so let's do that. Int count user ID, no, this user ID would be of string. We'll write string user ID, then there would be password, then ID, then pass. Alright, so these are the variables that we have created. Now again we'll use the system CLS, that is clear screen. We have to write CLS inside the double quotes. Alright, now we will display a message that please enter the username and password. So we'll do that, and we'll write /t/t/t and please enter the username and password. Alright, now we'll again display a message saying that username. Now we'll take the input. So here user ID is the username that the user will enter. Now again we will display a message saying that password. Let's make it capital. Again we'll take the input. Now as the user has entered the username and password, now we will check that if that username and password already exist in our records, and for that we will use the file handling operation of ifstream class, because ifstream is used to read the data. So we will use ifstream and ifstream class. This will read the data from the file. Input is the object name, and the file name would be records.txt. Alright, we'll have to make it inside the double quotes. Alright, so now this if stream will check inside the file that if that login password exists or not. And to check that, we will have to use the while loop. Inside the while loop, we'll write input, that is the object name, then there would be ID, and then pass. So this is the ID and password, and this is how we read in file handling operations. Here what we are doing is we are reading that if that ID and password is there, and then we will match those ID and passwords with the ID and password that is entered by the user. So for that we will have to use the if condition inside the while loop. So let's do that. We will write if ID equals user ID and pass equals password, then count would be 1, and then we will use systemcls to clear the screen. Here we have assigned 1 to count because in the next part we will use an if condition that if the count is 1, then we will display a message saying that your login is successful, that is the password or username entered by the user matches with the record, that is the user has already registered. So now before that we have to close this file, so let's do that. To close this file we will use the object name, that is input dot close. This is how we can close the file. Alright, now we'll use the if condition, and inside this if condition, as I've said, if count equals 1, alright, if count equals 1, then we will first of all display the user ID, that is the username, and then we will display a message that your login is successful. So let's do that. Your login is successful. Now thanks for logging in. Now again we will shift the control to the main because there is the main menu, and now inside the else block we will display a message, that is if the user and password is not found inside the file, then it means that the user is not registered, so he can't log in, he has to register first. So we'll display a message saying that login error. Please check your username. Now again main function. Now we have to create another function, that is the registration function, that is if the user press 2, then this registration function would be called. So let's create this function, void registration. Now inside this function we will first of all create some variables, then after that we'll ask the user to enter the username and password, pretty much the same as that of the previous function. So first of all string r for registration user ID, r user ID, then r password, then RID and RPass. System CLS again, clear screen. Alright, now we will display a message saying that enter the username. Again, enter the password. Our password. Alright, so in the previous function we have used ifstream class, but in this function we will use offstream class because we want to write inside the file, and offstream helps us with that. So for that we will use offstream, and the object name would be f1, and records is a file, and we will use the app mode. This iOS means the input output stream, and app will open the file and append the output in the end. So this is our app mode. There are different modes, so here we are using this app mode. So after this we'll put the semicolon in the end. Now we have to write inside the file, so we'll do the f1, and this is how we write inside the file. F1 here is the object name, and our user ID is the username, and after that we'll add some space, and then our password, that is the password. We want some space between the username and password, that is why we have used the single quotes, and this is how we write inside the file. And after that we'll again use the system CLS, that is the clear screen. Alright, now we'll display a message that registration is successful, as we have already written inside the file. So now we can display this message saying that registration is successful. Now again control back to the main function. So now we will create the forgot function. This is the last function, void forgot. So this function would be called when the user forgets the password or username. So first of all we will create a variable option. Now we will ask the user that you forgot your password, no worries. Then we'll ask the user to press 1 to search your ID by your username, and press 2 to go back to the main menu. So let's start. Before that we will use system CLS. Alright, now we'll display the message saying that you forget the password, no worries, and then we'll use /n. Now press 1 to search your ID by username. Alright, now press 2 to go back to the main menu. Alright, now after that we'll use /t. Alright, now enter your choice. Now we'll take the input cin option. After that, using the switch case statement, option. Now inside the switch case we'll create cases. So case 1, that is when the user selects option 1, then int, we'll use bracket over here because there would be multiple lines. Alright, now int count, we'll initialize it with 0. Now some more variables we will declare. The string suserid and sid, then spass. So these are some string variables and count is the integer variable. After that we'll display a message that enter the username which you remembered. So let's do it. Enter the username you remembered. Alright, now we will take the input from the user as user ID. So once the user entered the username, then we will check that if that username exists in the file using the ifstream object. As we know, ifstream is used when we want to read from the file or check from the file. So we'll create the ifstream class and the object name would be f2 and records.txt is the file. Alright, now using the while loop we will check that if the username is there inside the file or not. So sid and spass. So now if sid equals suser id, then count equals 1. So we will assign 1 to count and after that we will close the file, that is f2 dot close. So here what we are doing is we are checking inside the file using the ifstream object that if that id or password is there, and if that id is there then we'll assign 1 to the count as initially it was 0, and then again we'll do the same as that we have in the as we have done in the previous function, that if count equals to 1 then we will print a message that your count is found. So let's do that. So as we have closed the file, now after that we'll use an if statement with a condition that if count equals 1, then we will print a message saying that your account is found. your password is spass. So it will display the password. Again, the control will be shifted to the main, where there is the main menu, and inside the else block now, inside the else block will display a message saying that sorry, your account is not found. Sorry, your account is not found. So as the case 1 ends, we will use the break statement. Now we will create case 2. In case 2, as we have said that it will simply go back to the main menu. So all we'll do is call the main function so that the control will go back to the main menu. And now also we have to create the default case. In the default case, we'll simply print a message saying that wrong choice, please try again. So we'll use /t/t/t. Wrong choice, please try again. After that, we'll call the forgot function so that the user can try again with the correct option. Alright, so we forgot to save this. So let's name it as register.cpp and save it. Now let's try to run this. Go to execute and compile and run. There is some error. Alright, so I must be capital as we have declared. Let's try again. So as you can see, welcome to login page. This is the menu, and this is press 1 to login, press 2 to register, press 3 if you forgot your password, press 4 to exit. So now we will enter our choice. First of all, we need to register. So we'll write 2 and our username as sam@email. This is our username, and now our password. Sam123 is our password. So as we can see, the message registration is successful. Now after that, we will log in. As we have registered, now we'll try to log in. Sam@email is our username, and Sam123 are our password. So as you can see, your login is successful. Thanks for logging in. Now let's say I forgot my password. So I'll press 3, as if you forgot your password, you have to press 3. So there is a message, you forgot the password, no worries, please press 1 to search your ID by your username. So I'll press 1. Now I'll write my username, the last username I remembered, sam@email. So your account is found. Your password is this, as you can see. So let's say again, if I forgot the password and by chance I write sammy@email, then sorry, your account is not found is displayed, as sam@email is the registered customer and not sammy@email. So it will display this message that sorry, your account is not found. And let's say again, if we try to press, let's say 5, then we can see that please select from the options given above. Actually we have to make it below options given below, but we can do that, else everything is working fine. So now we will click on exit, that is 4, and this is the message, thank you. So as we can see, this is our registration and login system in C++, and this is how we can do it. We have created these 3 functions, that is login function, then there is registration function, after that there is a forgot function if we forgot the password. And the code is pretty easy and not that much long, so you can try this code on your own.
And with that, we have come to the end of this tutorial on login and registration system in C++. If you enjoyed watching this video, then do give it a thumbs up. I hope it really helped you out, guys. If you have any sort of doubt, then please feel free to drop them down in the comment section below, and our experts will definitely answer them for you. Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned to SimpliCode and keep coding.